So where am I today? I'm in Eugowra. I'm in the Lachlan Valley and I'm going to do a tour from Eugowra via Gooloogong to Canowindra, Canowindra to Cowra, Cowra across to Grenfell. I'm not quite sure which way I'm going to go there, and Grenfell back up around to Eugowra. So basically a long weekend, 4 days, 3 nights. Should be a lot of fun. Weather today is superb. So I've just had a very nice lunch in Eugowra. They've got a food van there. Had the burger and the chips with the Diet Coke. Highly recommend it. So the route that I'm doing today is based on the Lachlan Valley cycle track. And it comes around the area that I'm talking about. Cowra and Grenfell. The issue for me is on the 3rd day. I think it's 85 k's off-road is what I would need to do, or split it in 2. I haven't got the time to split it in 2, so it'd be 85 k's off-road or 60 on-road. So I suspect I'll be doing the on-road version. We'll see how we go. If it stays like this, yeah, you never know. It is beautiful. That to me looks like an old mud brick building of some sort. You know, all the bricks look like they're just made out of lumps of mud. Oh, there we go, we've made it to the first stop, Gooloogong. I've got no idea what this town's like, about to cycle into it. It's not very hot this afternoon, but hot enough to, yeah, it's starting to suck the life out of me a bit. That's only 25, 28 Ks. I think I've got another 30 to do. I've started late, about 1:30, 2 o'clock, so I'm not going to get in till late into Canowindra. But yeah, I'm going to have a good stop here, get a drink, yeah, have a rest, and then head on. So I'm sat outside the Gooloogong post office, cafe and general store, basically the only shop in town. There's a pub, there's a hairdresser, believe it or not, but not much else. But yeah, got myself an ice cream, a can of nice cold fizzy drink. I'm going to have half an hour sitting here and then it's on to Canowindra. That's the hairdresser and petrol station. And finally, the other thing that Gooloogong has, which is really useful, is it's got public toilets, and around the back of them there's a tap, so I've just been able to fill up all my water as well. So yeah, fantastic little town. It's now 4 o'clock and I need to get to Canowindra, which is 30 kilometers away. So yeah, I've got a bit of work to do, but should be there, I don't know, a couple of hours. I'm going pretty slow today, so maybe 2.5. Yeah. One of the things that I'll take on the first day, but only on the first day of a cycle tour, is a magnesium tablet, which will stop me from cramping or stop me cramping badly. Because I perspire quite a bit and it's pretty hot today. I think it's been 30 degrees in the shade. Yeah, I'll lose quite a lot of salts, therefore I'll cramp. I will take electrolyte drinks and things like that, but it's never quite enough on the first day. After the first day, I'm normally fine. And if I take too many magnesium tablets, I start to get, yeah, really bad dreams. So, you know, people say you don't. I say I do. So anyway, I take one, and normally that's about all I need to do. If you don't want to take a magnesium tablet, there are plenty of other options. You want things that are high in magnesium and or potassium. And one of the common ones that cyclists eat are bananas. So they're high in potassium and high in sugar. Avocados. I think things like almonds, green leafy vegetables, And then you want things that are salty as well, so peanuts, crisps, and dare I say things like bacon. So all those things that you get told off for back in the real world, they suddenly become good foods to have when you're cycling in moderation. So I'm now just over 5 kilometres out of Canowindra. The sting has gone out of the sun at last, so it's a beautiful temperature now. The sun is basically going down because it's a bit after 6 in the evening. So it's been a long day, 4.5 hours of driving to get out to Eugowra. Took about an hour to have my lunch, and now I've just cycled for 5.5 hours. So yeah, that's an 11-hour day. But anyway, we're coming into Canowindra now. I'm staying in a motel and I'm looking forward to having a lie down. Oh, this is a pretty entrance to a town. All right, I'm now at the Riverview Motel in Canowindra, and from my room I can neither see a river nor a view, but the room is large, it's clean, it's spacious, it's well laid out, and in particular the woman that runs this place is a lovely Indian lady. Nothing is too much trouble for her. She's super friendly, super amenable. Originally they were putting me upstairs. I said, can I be downstairs because I've got a bike and I really don't want to have to carry it upstairs this time of day. No problem, move me straight away. Yeah, lovely place, highly recommend it.
Day 2. I was up early to beat the heat as the forecast was for temperatures in the mid-30s. I headed down to the river for a quick breakfast of oats with apricots, setting up my chair and stove. I cooked up my breakfast in the cool of the morning. Once I had finished, I packed up and started heading out of Canowindra towards Cowra.
Okay, I've turned off the main Cowra road. I'm now on this country road heading down same direction but just inland a bit, and it's very quiet apart from quite a few what do you call them, farm trucks coming through. I guess they're moving sheep around this time of year. Just stopping for a bit of a cool down in Billy-Mari, I think it's called. Word of note is that the local hall, it's nice and shady here, which is lovely, but there's a tap and drinking fountain at the front. Today it ain't working, so yeah, I'm sure for most people travelling through it's not a big deal. For cyclists, yeah, a bit more of a problem. I'll be fine, I've got a couple of litres of water still, so yeah, we'll just keep on going down to Cowra. So as you can see, this is one of these valleys that's had a railway line that's been removed. I tell you what, this would be an ideal spot for a rail trail from Canowindra down to Cowra. It's I don't know, 40 k's. Yeah, flat as a tack. Could bring some life back into some of these towns because there's no shop, no pub, no water in this town. So there's nothing going on at the moment. But you know, if you're bringing cyclists through, you could obviously have a little food van and some taps and maybe even a pub. You never know. Now about 7 k's out of Cowra now, and there's an avenue of poplars. Now the reason you grow poplars, it's a French thing. It's to break up the wind.
On the northern edge of the town are the remains of a Second World War prisoner of war internment camp where Italian, Japanese, Javanese and Korean prisoners were held between 1941 and 1945. The camp was eventually removed in 1947. 75 years later, it seems strangely bizarre that we would ever have issues with Italian, Japanese, Javanese or Korean people.
At this POW encampment site, the Italian community in Australia has created and dedicated this statue to commemorate or to remember those who fell and those who died in the encampment. Yeah. I don't know if you'll see him, but there's Mr. Cockatoo up in the tree. Well, this evening I'm going to have dinner in the park. So what's on the menu tonight? There's a dog nearby barking. He's just making me laugh. We've got a chickpea and chorizo curry, chole masala. All right, so we've got chorizo, red capsicum, red onions, a little bit of garlic, the tiniest can of chickpeas that I could find, some coconut milk, and this chiholi masala, and then red lentils. So I'm going to fry this lot, and then I'm going to make my lentils by boiling them with the coconut milk and the chickpeas, and then put the whole lot together and eat it. Okay, so the vegetables and the meat have been fried, and now I've just put on the lentils, chickpeas, and the dehydrated coconut milk. Well, that's tea for this evening. So that's a chickpea and lentil dal, and with chorizo, red pepper, onion, and a bit of garlic. All right, it's 6:30 on Saturday morning, day 3. I am getting out early. It's currently 16, 17 degrees. And then with a forecast of 35 in the shade. So I have no idea what that means on the road, but generally that heat comes in the afternoon, late in the afternoon, from about 1 through till 6 or 7. So 6:30 in the morning, I'm going to try and get as much of today, much of the riding done today as I possibly can right now, first thing in the morning. So why am I putting all the urgency into this morning? Well, 31, 32 normally comes with a bit of a breeze. Not this. This is a heat wave, and it's 35. And out on these roads, I don't know how hot it's going to get, but yeah, there's no water between here and Grenfell, so yeah, I've got to manage myself entirely. If I'd taken a more easterly track, it'd be more gravel, but it's 85. And look, I don't know that I've got the skills or the endurance to be able to do that in this sort of heat. So a travelling stock reserve is something that the, I guess, farmers use when they're transporting animals from one area to another overnight. If they're stopping in an area like this, they can then put their animals onto that land. So it's land like this, and your cows and sheep can forage. Okay, while I have my first break, today is roughly 55, 56 kilometers, so right down in distance compared to what I could have been doing. It's currently only 7:30 in the morning, so I've got the first 8-10 kilometers done. I want to get it as much done as I can before the heat of the day, which is probably from about 1 or 2 onwards. I'm talking reasonably quietly because I'm in a truck stop, and there's a truck right there, and I think he's still fast asleep. But yeah, the temperature at the moment is beautiful. It's probably about 20 degrees. There's no breeze at all. I've got about 5 k's, and then the road kicks up for quite a while. I've split the day up, so there are these truck stops or rest stops, and then there's 2 more on the way, and I'll go into each one and I'll stop for a good half an hour and try and eat something. I've been particularly bad about eating over the last few days, and make sure I'm keeping my fluids up. I've brought an extra 1.5 litres of water, so I've got 4 litres of water with me today, which should be enough for a 55-kilometre cycle ride, even in this heat. All right, I don't know if a mobile phone can be viewed very easily via a GoPro, but there's some of the problem. From midday through till 5 o'clock today, in this area, we're talking about a temperature of 37 degrees now. So I'd like to be off the road if I can, but I suspect I'm going to be out there until at least 1, possibly 2. But as I say, I've got plenty of water, so I should be all right, so long as I just keep breaking it up into these little pieces all the time. All right, that was a nice 20-minute little break. I had a banana and I've had some peanuts, so I've had something covered in salt. Yes, I am a bit concerned about my electrolytes on a day like today, but so far if it stays like this, it's currently 21 degrees. It's lovely. Saturday mornings in the bush, eh? So there aren't many of those going through on a Saturday morning, but they certainly are big and slightly intimidating as they go by. I'm now on quite a long hill that is 1, 2, 3% for a lot of it, quite easy, and then it goes to 5. And then briefly to 8. But what I haven't told you is the bottom 2 gears on my bike aren't working. Well, they're working, I just can't reach them. So yeah, making good time, making good progress. As long as the next 15 k's go the same as the last 40, then yeah, it's been a great morning. Happy days. I'm 5 k's out of Grenfell and the weather has caught me. It is now properly hot, which of course is completely energy sapping. So I've crawled to an absolute, I'm just going along about 3 or 4 kilometers an hour. I think I'm going from shady spot to shady spot. I'll get there, but this is tough. This is tough this afternoon. That's a welcome sign on a hot day, I can promise you. Right, I've made it to Grenfell, pulled into the first petrol station I could find because they are full of cold drinks and they've got air conditioning, so I'll just sit in here for half an hour and then go and find the hotel for the evening.
Grenfell Hall is so named by its owner, Warwick Crampton. It is a fantastic building which has spent time as a private residence, sometimes a convent, and today it's a sumptuous bed and breakfast with rooms filled with treasures and hallways full of art.
I've just had my tea. It's 7 o'clock, something like that, and it's still 31, 32 degrees. I believe during the day it was about 38. On the road it would have been 8 degrees hotter, so that would have been 46. The Bureau of Meteorology said it was 34. Tomorrow they're saying it's going to be 39. So again, if you add another 4, we get 43 out of town, and then you add another 8 degrees because you're cycling on a road. That's over 50 degrees. So that's not just masochistic, that's likely to cause, you know, real problems. So I'm gonna have to pull the pin. Bitterly disappointed, but yeah, I'm not cycling in 50 degrees. That'd be madness. So that leaves the question, how do I get from Grenfell back to Eugowra? It's 70 kilometers away, and I can't do 70 kilometers at 50 degrees. It's just not going to happen. You know, I don't know that many people could, certainly not, you know, with my level of fitness. So I have spoken to the owner of Grenfell Hall, which is where I'm staying, and he has offered to drive me back to my car. And you know, I'm obviously going to pay for petrol and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, he's gonna take me back, and I'll go and collect the car, come down, collect my bike, and head home. Because yeah, 50 degrees, that would be idiotic.
The following morning was as hot as predicted. After a lovely breakfast, Warwick drove me the 70 kilometres to Eugowra, where I collected my car, returned to Grenfell and retrieved my bike. The temperature that day got to 39 centigrade in Grenfell, and so I was glad I had decided not to cycle, as it would have been dangerous. This is a lovely part of the world, and I will return in the cooler months of the year. Thanks for watching.